extra large tomatoes, just $2.49 per pound. Value pack fresh Purdue chicken thighs with drumsticks, only $1.99 per pound. Large imported white eggs, just $2.50 per dozen. Minute Maid Premium Orange Juice, just $2.99 for select varieties of 59-ounce cartons. Save $1.26 on Lay's potato chips, $2.99 for a 6.5-ounce bag. All stores open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
Good evening, everyone. It's Wednesday, February 28th. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us tonight. 4 people have been arrested in the UK in connection with the murder of 17-year-old Bermudian Larico Steed. Larico, also known as Rico, was stabbed in Bulwell, Nottinghamshire at around 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, February 13th. He died in hospital 6 days later. The teen was attacked and stabbed multiple times. According to the Nottingham Post, 2 17-year-old boys and an 18-year-old man have been arrested on suspicion of murder, while a 17-year-old girl has been arrested on suspicion of conspiracy to commit murder. Detective Chief Inspector Haley Williams, who is leading the investigation, said at a press conference earlier today, "We continue to pursue lines of inquiry in relation to the murder of Rico." Well, a truck driver narrowly escaped serious injury today when his vehicle overturned on Middle Road, Warwick, near Khyber Pass. The incident happened shortly after noon. The truck ended up on its side across from the nearby post office. No pedestrians or other drivers were injured. Traffic was diverted up Khyber Pass and away from the scene for 2 hours, resuming as normal after 2 o'clock. A survey reveals more than 400 public school students have been determined to be at risk and in need of some form of intervention. But as Gary Moreno tells us, the report is 3 years old, leading to concerns the situation may be even more worrying now.
The web-based survey targeted P4, P6, M1 to M3 and S1 students and was administered between January and July 2015. It was based on what is called a trauma indicator checklist, basically a tool used to identify signs of at-risk behavior among school-aged youth. It's made up of 41 observable behavior-related statements in 5 categories: attendance, school performance, social interaction, life/family conditions, and child behaviors. Children were deemed to be potentially at risk if they identified with any 3 of those 5 categories, and within each of them, less than half the categories were checked. A child would be considered high risk if they checked 4 or more indicators as they pertain to school performance, more than half the indicators in any one category, or at least 1 indicator in 4 of the 5 previously mentioned ones. Inconsistent school attendance was among the top 3 areas highlighted, along with students being tired when they did go to school and missing school repeatedly due to illness. In terms of school performance, the top 3 issues were students doing poorly or getting failing grades. That was followed by having difficulty staying on task or completing assignments and becoming easily frustrated. Social interaction, according to one source closely associated with the survey, was cause for particular concern. The main issue highlighted as bullying. In this category, students also reported spending time with negative peers and that they did not participate in positive peer behaviors. This, we're told, was a significant indicator in terms of students becoming directly involved with gangs, being gang affiliates, or being forced into such activity. So how did the segments of the school population surveyed fare? Primary and middle school students had the most difficulty staying on task or completing assignments, had difficulty following instructions, and were not performing well at school, getting failing grades. Senior school students were also performing poorly and getting poor grades, while also having difficulty staying on task and completing assignments. They too identified with showing impulsive behavior. Based on the findings of the survey, a number of recommendations were made and should have been implemented in the immediate term following the survey. This included school and student services staff immediately reviewing individual school reports and using the data to identify at-risk students and implement provided targeted strategies to address risk situations. This, we're told, was done through the creation of the Interagency Community Response Team. However, it is understood many of the proposed solutions were not put in place, resulting in the poor grades and behavior currently being witnessed, or at least so it is claimed. However, a Ministry of Education official who spoke with us on condition of anonymity suggested while there was failure on the part of the previous government to implement solutions, we should not engage in finger-pointing. And in an effort to build on the findings of the previous survey, another is currently being carried out to determine the way forward. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
The Marketplace Food Court is you and your family's one-stop shop. Start your day at the Breakfast Bar with omelets made to order and traditional Bermuda codfish breakfast. The chefs will cook lunch and dinner to your liking. Along with the salad bar, sandwich bar, sushi bar, and fruit bar, the Marketplace Food Court is your kitchen away from home. Every day is hassle-free with nutritious meals from the Marketplace Food Court. Visit us 7 days a week. Homemade cooking, quality service, all at prices you can count on.
Philadelphia International Medicine provides international patients with access to a unique network of world-renowned doctors and surgeons that provide personalized medical and surgical care, connecting you to the U.S.'s leading healthcare specialists who are ranked among the best in the world. Healing is possible when you're confident in your healthcare team. To find out more, contact us at physicians@philadelphiamedicine.com or call 1-215-563-4733.
Imagine your home working as hard as you, harnessing the power of the sun. While you work, we work. Think solar with BAE. Imagine more power, more often with BAE.
The good weather we've been experiencing is set to take a back seat come this Friday, when, according to forecasters, winter will have truly arrived. We spoke with James Dodson, the director of the Bermuda Weather Service, who says wind speeds could gust above 60 miles an hour, in addition to 20-foot waves outside the reef.
As you and all your listeners know, we've had quite a fine winter so far. Certainly February's been one of the mildest and sunniest in the records that we have, but we are looking at a return to certainly some significant winter weather as we approach the end of the week. We're likely to see conditions really start deteriorating on Friday morning, with the winds increasing steadily to gale force, and we're likely to see a band of quite heavy rain, possible thunderstorms moving through with a front during the afternoon on Friday. And then we just set up into a very windy regime that continues right through the weekend. And that's all down to a very deep area of low pressure that's going to approach us to our near north. So, as I said, we've obviously had some very fine weather over the last few weeks, but it is obviously winter, and we can still get some very significant weather as we head into March, and that's certainly on the cards as we approach this weekend. So I emphasise to all your listeners to keep in touch with the latest forecasts for the details this coming end of the week and weekend.
Is it correct we can expect in excess of 60-knot winds?
There's certainly the possibility in thunderstorms. We are getting more and more confidence on this event.
The highlight of Bermuda Heroes Weekend, the parade of bands, will be twice as long this year. Organizers say the new route will allow more people, time to enjoy the parade. But there are questions about whether that's too far for a still developing festival. Hal Davis reports.
It's perhaps the most colourful event of the year. The climax of the Bermuda Heroes Weekend sees thousands of people join the parade of bands. And this time, it'll be longer than ever. Starting at Clearwater Bay, passing along Southside Road, before going to Number 1 Gate. After a stop for an hour to refresh and rehydrate, masqueraders will then return the same way, finishing at Clearwater Bay again. That's twice the distance as last year, and the organisers say it's a chance for more people to get involved.
We want to bring more people to the island, more visitors. We're anticipating more people to be in St. David's enjoying the parade. So we wanted to answer the question, can we have more time for Carnival? Can we have more time on the road? So this is a direct reply, is yes you can. You can come at 10 a.m. and then you can start the afternoon again at 2 p.m. or if you wish, just come at 2 p.m. So more options, more time, more value for money. That's what it's all about.
There has been some criticism that not enough floats take part, leaving long gaps between bands for spectators, but the organisers say people should take the chance to relax, spend time with their friends and families.
Well, our focus at BHW for the parade of bands is really on the masqueraders, and we want folks to enjoy their time on the road. So what we would encourage spectators to do is make a day of it. Bring a picnic basket, relax, enjoy the day, enjoy the sunshine out in St. David's, and there might be some wait in between floats, there might be some wait in between lunch, but enjoy time with family and friends, and we'll be back.
It's easy to forget Carnival is relatively new. The celebrations have only been running for 4 years. But despite its relative novelty, it's a real success already, according to the Tourism Authority.
Now it's one of our signature events. In its first year to the second year, it grew 200%, and then it grew another third after that, going into the third year. So we expect really big things from it in its fourth year. But it isn't really just about visitor arrivals. It also does an important thing in terms of exposing Bermuda to people who might not otherwise be exposed to Bermuda. Of course, there are carnival chasers all over the world. They have destinations that they always think about for carnival, but now they're thinking about Bermuda because of the exposure that they're seeing on social media.
So, a weekend to look forward to in mid-June, but now with a parade that'll be longer and hopefully better than ever before. Howell Davis, Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Bermudian scientist Dr. Karika Weldon and Professor Steve Wilton of the Australian Institute for Neurological and Translational Science both agree the Splicing conference was a success. One of the highlights of the conference was Dr. Wilton's presentation on Duchenne muscular dystrophy.
We had talks on diagnosing mutations, as in working out what has gone wrong, and then the talks at the beginning and at the end of the conference were on actually therapies, using that information to come up with treatments for kids with very serious inherited diseases.
Steve or Karika, if you have to look at any one particular speaker, or maybe two, that said something that startled you, who comes to mind, or are there any?
Can I go first? I would say actually it would be Steve actually for me, because I work more on the mechanistic side, so the very basic science that isn't really applicable to people yet, and so it's nice to see that transformed into translational medicine, which is actually helping people. And I mean, Steve as well as Adrian, so the distinguished keynote speaker, they both had these videos of babies and children that have been receiving the treatment that they've created, and you can see the progress.
Now let's head over to the AccuWeather headquarters for the latest.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is pleased to bring you this AccuWeather forecast here on ZBM, and we do have a very active weather pattern that we will soon be stepping into, and we're going to get into some trouble here with widespread rain and strong winds and very large waves later this week into the weekend, and it may be with us for a few days. It'll be tied to a storm system still in its formative stages in the south central U.S. In the meantime, we look good. You can see an assessment of where the showers are based on satellite. Really shows that there's nothing out there threatening this evening and tonight. Light wind from the northeast at 5 to 10 knots. Fairly dry air. Temperature 64 in most areas, 65 in Hamilton. Water temp is 71. On the inside, we have small waves. On the outside, waves are 4 to 8 feet, but they will really be ramping up into the very end of the week and the beginning of the weekend. So get ready for some major changes that are brewing. As we take a look at tonight's forecast, just a spotty shower in a few spots, 61 degrees. Not any long-lasting or significant rain. Could be a couple of showers tomorrow, highs around 70. It will become breezy out there, but that's just the beginning. And we do want to mention a small craft warning for the early part of the forecast, and then Friday a gale warning begins. And we're taking a look at that tide chart here. High tide 7:16 this evening, low tide after midnight 1:33 a.m. Thursday. High tide number 2 rolls in tomorrow for the early riser, 7:46 if you're going to be out and about, and then another low tide in the early afternoon of Thursday. But let's get ready for some big changes here. Now the gateway forecast shows some snow into Toronto Rain in New York on Thursday that will end probably as some wet snow somewhere near New York City. Boston 55. They're preparing for some strong winds that will buffet the coast as well. Atlanta stormy and 72. Miami still running warm at 86. And London is still battling some nasty, harsh winter weather there with highs only about a half a degree Celsius or around 33 Fahrenheit with some snow. Into Jamaica, Barbados, and Trinidad, scattered showers here and there, and no tropical development, but watch Futurecast here as it really indicates some strong winds. Here we are in Hamilton, initially winds from the west, but we're going to watch a storm system strengthen between us and the New England states of the United States of America. And here we have this storm system really ramping up, and this low pressure center is going to pass to our north, pretty well to the north, but it's going to launch some big waves our way beginning at the end of the week and through the weekend, and it will send a lot of rain our way as well. So a soaking rain Friday with some wind. Saturday, wind and some periods of rain continues. Some of the waves may grow to 18, 20, 21 feet at times later this weekend. And that'll be a strong wind and wave situation. Showers linger into Sunday and Monday. So this, not the typical pleasant forecast that we'd like to deliver to you. But be safe out there as we ramp up to the wind, rain, big waves. Enjoy the rest of your day.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
I got these for seasickness last week, and they're terrible.
That's strange.
I know. I put one behind each ear like you're supposed to, and nothing happened.
These are tablets. You're meant to take them with water.
I got this pump for my asthma. Hasn't changed anything.
Show me how you're using it. It's an inhaler. You're meant to breathe it in.
Well, this toothpaste? Definitely off.
It's a hemorrhoid cream.
Well, that explains why my gums are shrinking.
The whole concept came from the collaboration with BF&M and the America's Cup. The Endeavour program is the legacy of the 35th America's Cup that was here in Bermuda in June. And we've continued the charity now operating in Bermuda. And going forward, we thought, what a great opportunity for children on the autism spectrum. And hence we actually developed the No Limits program. They really do benefit from this kind of outdoor experience, this environment. You know, just yesterday going off the east end of Bermuda, I mean, they wouldn't have done that. Not many children in Bermuda have done that. And just them learning to take control of a large bit of transportation that they're doing at that age, and they may never get that opportunity.
That's where you see the biggest progress is whether they were looking at their hand steering, you know, now they're looking forwards and actually looking where they're going because they've realized, oh, I know where my hand is. I can do this without looking at my hand.
We are so grateful for the Endeavour program and what it has done for the students on the autism spectrum.
There's just over 24 hours left before the public consultation period closes on the impending sugar tax. You can head over to the Ministry of Health website if you're keen to express your opinion. In the meantime, Tony Waterman takes a look at what a sugar tax could mean for local businesses.
There are two things any business owner fears.
It's not been busy today, but
a lack of customers.
I think cake is one of the things they gave up for Lent.
And rising costs. Lent is temporary, but for mother and son duo Wendy and Alan Avery, a more permanent change lingers on the horizon. A sugar tax, which will be either 75 or 150%.
And it certainly wouldn't be great. I don't know what further we could do with that. We'd have to work around that, but any type of fluctuation, small fluctuation, can cause huge changes to our pricing.
The sugar tax targets a variety of sugar, candy, and sodas. The Bermuda Rum Cake Company may be spared the worst of it, since the sugar they use in their signature rum cakes is part of a pre-mixed base. That's not on the sugar tax list. But the pure sugar, icing sugar, and fondant they use for their other cakes are. They're also concerned that their distributor may have to raise prices across the board to offset the steep tax increase on sugary items.
What it comes down to is what their price markup will be, and if 150% tariff, if it's currently at 25%, that's a 600% increase, which would be pretty terrible. if that got passed on to our specific product that we buy from them.
It's not just the Averys. Bermuda Broadcasting spoke to a number of other bakers and jam makers who expressed similar concerns but declined to be interviewed on camera. David Kendall, though, did sit down with us. He's collecting the public consultation statements for the Department of Health and says they've received more than 250 write-ins. As of Monday, it looked like this.
47% were 75% or higher, and then the people that I was combining the no's and the blanks, they were 43. So it was definitely the people in favor were out ahead.
And they have good reason to be concerned. Bermuda has one of the highest rates of diabetes in the world, and most cases are brought on by poor eating habits. That has huge implications for the economy and the healthcare system. Insurance claims alone are estimated to hit $26 million over the next decade. It's such a concern that the sugar tax start date may have been brought forward from September to June.
I had read something on Bird News from the health minister saying the new regime is going to come in June. What does that mean?
Again, that's a question for the Ministry of Finance more, the tax side, through customs. But I believe that it means, and I could be corrected, but I believe that it means that the duty rates will change in June.
Calls to the Ministry of Finance were not returned by the time this story went to edit. Either way, the tax is coming. To promote healthier choices, duties on items like broccoli, apples, oranges, and eggs will be dropped to zero. And an unspecified portion of the money raised through the sugar tax will go towards educational programs. Alan and Wendy Avery don't think that's such a bad idea.
Because we do everything. I don't want to sound hypocritical because I sell a product which has sugar in it, but then everything has sugar in it. It's just a balance. It's always about balance.
Tipping the scales in favor of good health, something everyone can get behind. Tony Waterman for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
Here's Earl Baisden with tonight's sports report.
The Bermuda men's national cricket team got their ICC World 2020 sub-regional qualifier underway in Argentina, defeating the hosts yesterday by 124 runs. Bermuda won the toss and elected to bat, and they would score 209 for 7. Kamal Levrock was the top scorer with 93. He hit 12 fours and 4 sixes. Gennaro Tucker added 40 off of 33 deliveries with 5 fours and 1 6. Argentina scored 85 for 6 in their 20 overs. Pedro Arigi was their top scorer with 42. While Kwesi James was the pick of the Bermuda bowlers, returning figures of 4 overs, 1 made and 2 for 8, while Charles Trott bowled 4 overs, 2 for 14. The Bermuda Squash Open 2018 continued with the first round main draw in both the men's and ladies divisions taking place last evening inside the Bermuda Squash Rackets Association Club in Devonshire. It was a good result for Bermuda's 2 male professionals in Noah Brown and Michael Franklin. However, Rachel Barnes on the ladies' side could not advance to the main draw quarterfinal round following a defeat. Brown would defeat K.O. Wilson from Trinidad in straight games 11-8, 11-6, 11-1, while Franklin defeated Babatunde Abaje from Nigeria in straight games 11-9, 11-5, 12-10. Barnes unfortunately went down 11-3, 11-5, 11-4 to Anna Kimberley from England. Earlier this week, ZBM Sports reported that Jair Mitchell had earned enough points to earn a full Supercross Pro card. The youngster explained how challenging and what it takes to make it this far.
It takes 100% commitment, I think. You have to put everything into it. I mean, like, I had to move away, leave my family, and just concentrate on riding because we only have one track in Bermuda, and you only get to ride it every so often. And the Americans can ride any track they want, whenever they want. So it's hard for us, but I mean, Bermudians are naturally talented at a lot of stuff, so I think it came a little bit easier to me, but I had to put in hard work too.
Now, the fact that you, like you said, had to move away from home, a big commitment from not only you, but your family as well, mom and dad.
It was a tough decision to say, I didn't want to go to college, but this is what I want to do with my life, and right now, I'm still working on it to make it a career, and it's starting to pan out, so hopefully it works out.
Naki Wells came through a valuable 90 minutes for Burnley in a behind-closed-door victory over Preston North End. Wells was involved in a productive afternoon for Burnley as they would beat the Snow and their Lancaster rivals 4-0 thanks to 2 goals from Sam Vokes and George's Kevin Nakudu. Vokes headed in his second after a volley from Wells was turned onto the crossbar by North End goalkeeper Chris Maxwell. Meanwhile, Bermuda Football Association President Mark Wade was in Tanzania recently, along with member associations of FIFA for the FIFA Executive Summit. Wade gave us an update of some of the things discussed during the summit.
All of the subjects that we had on the agenda were actually beneficial to Bermuda. We talked about the future of competitions, where the idea of a yearly World Cup at youth level was discussed. We talked about what age group would be the best age group, and certainly we talked about all the logistics of that. Some of the challenges for smaller countries like Bermuda are going to be resources, both financial and human resources, having to find coaches, and then what the workload's going to be having a yearly competition in addition to the ones that are already there, and that was competition boys and girls.
Tyler Smith and her Jackson State University women's tennis teammates took on Mississippi Valley on the opening day of the first Southwestern Atlantic Conference Women's Tennis Tournament of 2018. Smith and her teammates defeated Mississippi Valley 4-0 at the Independence Park Tennis Center. Smith would get things started in her singles match, playing in the number 1 spot with a straight set 6-love victory over Shakina Hubbard. Salters Grammar School filled all 4 over 16 boys semi-final positions during the Bermuda School Sports Federation's Senior School Table Tennis Tournament held at Smash yesterday. Julian Grant defeated John Eels in straight sets in the final. Grant got past the top seed 11-6, 11-6 to win the championships. Grant defeated Max Marshall 11-4, 11-9 in their semi-final, while Eels defeated Jack Brown 11-7, 11-3. Berkeley Institute's Jeremiah Samuels broke the Salters' dominance by winning the under-16 boys title. Samuels entered the playoff ranked 3rd, but improved as the day went on. He defeated Saltus' Alex Southern 11-7, 11-4 in the final. Samuels had defeated Noah Simons from Saltus 11-5, 11-8 in one semifinal, while Southern defeated the top seed and schoolmate Nick Cooper 8-11, 11-6, 11-7. Letitia Lima Ferrara and her Mount Allison University women's volleyball teammates went down 3-0 to UNB St. John's. St. John's won the first game 25-21. They would win the second game 25-22, and then they would close out the game winning 28-26. Ferrara had 3 sets, 2 aces, and 2 digs during the match. In Commercial League bowling action inside the Warwick lanes, it saw the Spinners defeat 10-Pin Mafia 4-0, while the Secret Weapons defeated Cool Runnings 4-0. Sweet Life got by the Braves 3-1, with We Do It Big defeating BTC 3-1. The Sunset defeated the BPS Blue Lanterns 3-1, and the Superstars defeated the Pin Pushers 3-1. I'm Earl Baisden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
You can count on us.
Fresh certified Angus boneless beef roast. Bottom round, eye round, or chuck. $6.99 per pound. Extra large sweet cantaloupes. Just $3.99 each. Just $2.79 for select varieties of Ragu pasta sauce. Select varieties of Arm & Hammer laundry detergent. $8.99 for a 75-ounce bottle. Only $1.29 for a 4-row package of 2-ply bathroom tissue. Visit our website at www.marketplace.bm for more super specials.
You can count on us.
Your home, your life, security. Be fire and burglar free. Right from your phone, monitor, control. Lock safes, doors, gates, business, family safe. You're on the go, and that's okay. BSG with you every
Bermuda Security Group, your security, life safety, and monitoring experts. We're with you every step of the way. Bermuda Security Group, BSG.BM.
Are you required to take one or more medications daily but have a hard time remembering when to take them? Does your family fear you may end up in the hospital because you often forget to take your meds? Or are you a caregiver looking for a time management tool designed to make your medication routine effortless? The Phoenix stores can help. With an MDS blister pack, a multi-dose packaging system that makes it easier to manage and take your medication. Each MDS blister pack contains medications for the week and is pre-packed, sealed, and labeled by a pharmacist. Prescriptions grouped by the day and the time of day you should take them, whether at breakfast, lunch, dinner, or bedtime. Plus, to ensure you're covered, each pack includes detailed, personalized instruction. Take confidence in knowing you're using your medications as the doctor planned. Visit the Phoenix stores to chat with the pharmacist and get your MDS blister pack today. The Phoenix stores, for a better life.
Police say that motorcyclist injured after crashing into two cars on North Shore Road in Devonshire near Barker's Hill yesterday. A 65-year-old Devonshire man is recovering in stable condition at hospital. He was initially admitted to the intensive care unit. There were no other injuries reported. However, all three vehicles involved were damaged. The 65-year-old man was traveling west, and the two cars were being driven in the opposite direction along North Shore Road around 5:30 that evening. Inquiries continue, and any witnesses are still encouraged to contact police on 295-0011. And that's our broadcast for this evening. I'm Jasmine Patterson. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Jasmine Patterson's wardrobe and makeup is provided by Gibbons Company.